Hi guys, welcome to the channel. This is CSNK Jain, and a lot of students ask me, sir, how to plan for SCMP revisions during our study leaves. So if you are entering the study leaves or if you have already entered and have started, if you are in confusion that how you should go about this subject, then I have 7 points for you on how to plan SCMP revisions. Let's get right into it. Our first point will be that you need to divide the subject into 3 parts and plan separately for each of these parts. Now, based on the past papers and the trend that has been seen in the question papers, I can say that 3 types of questions are majorly coming in the exams. First is a direct theory question, second is a practical question, of course, and third one is the analytical question. So direct theory questions also coming, which means that you need to mug up theory. Yes. Practical questions also coming, which means you need to practice questions. Yes. And analytical questions are also coming, which means that you also need to understand the concepts. Right? So for each of these parts, what are we supposed to do? For direct theory, pick up study material. Okay? Or a book which is based on study material. Any of these books you can pick up, okay, and then study from it. Now revise, keep revising the theory portion, try to mug them up, okay, not entirely but at least the definitions and the points, and also understand everything at the same time. Now what you need to do is you need to make this material your own. Okay, and how can you do that? So whichever way it works for you, if the charts work for you, make charts out of those. If notes work for you, make notes out of those, make your own notes. And if audio clips work for you, make your own audio clips, record them on your own, even though your teacher might or might not have provided it to you. Doesn't matter, I provide each of these things, but I'm still asking you to make your own charts or notes or audio clips, because the one you make are going to be the best for you. You know how to make them. So pick study material based book, and make your own charts, notes, or audio clips, whichever works for you, not all three together. Okay, any of these three, whichever that works for you. Don't waste time unnecessarily. And then make sure that you include ICAI language for keywords. Because when you will be writing the answers to direct theoretical questions, ICAI would want to see these keywords in your answer. And these keywords can only come if you use ICAI language in your charts or notes or audio clips. Alright? So make sure that you use ICAI language. Now for practical questions, you have to solve all the ICI questions, be it in study material or other resources like RTPs, MTPs, past papers, case studies, case study digest, and student journal, or any other, whichever source you get ICI questions from, solve them for new syllabus, of course. Okay, if you get it through author or some author's book, use it, but you need to make sure that all the ICI questions are getting solved. Now, while solving, should you audit the questions? Should you just read the answer? Definitely not. You should write all the answers, solve all the questions in writing. But, sir, there is not enough time. How do we write all the answers? So, in this case, I'm not asking you to present all the answers. What I'm saying is that use an approach which asks you to scribble the answers. Okay, write them down, scribble the numbers, use the calculators, but just don't read the answers. It is never going to help you. By writing the answers, what we understand is at which point in the question are we going to get stuck, so that you prepare in advance for that point to come in your exam. If it comes, you are already prepared how to solve it. But if you've just read the answer, you will never understand this. Okay? So make sure that you write the answers. Now, of course, you need to solve all of these questions before reading the answer. Okay, so solve the question on your own without looking at the IC answer. Never, forbid, never look at the IC answer. Solve it on your own, then look at the ICI answer, suggested one, and compare your answer with the suggested one, so as to check whether you are solving it correctly or not. All right, make sure that you solve all of these wrong answers 3 times. 3 times. Yes, in each revision, 3 times. So, when you've solved your own answer, without looking at the IC answer, some of the questions will go wrong. and these wrong questions have to be solved 3 times. The first time will be that you have now checked the answer that it is wrong. So you'll be reading the answer of ICAI, right? Which is the correct answer. You'll be reading it. You'll be going through the correct answer. So that will be your first time out of the 3 times. The second time will be read the ICAI answer, move to the next question. Solve it on your own, check the ICAI suggested, and do the same process. Once you're done with all the questions, then pick up all the wrong answers, questions, and solve them again. This time again in writing. And the third time would be before going to bed, before you decide to sleep, allocate some time for yourself, solve all of these wrong answer questions again, this time not in writing, just go through the answers. Okay, so this is how you are able to make sure that these wrong answer questions are never wrong ever again. Okay, now very important point is that make summary of the solutions of tough or selected questions. Any question that you find tough or you think is in general tough but you know it, okay, so any question that you find tough would be categorized under tough, but any question that you think is tough but even though you know it would be under selected. Okay, any question that you feel that ICAI might ask in the question paper, selected. All of these questions should be summarized. Okay, the solutions to these questions, make a summary out of it, write it somewhere down, record audio clip, whichever works for you, but make sure to do this. This will save a lot of time even during the further revisions and obviously on the last day. Make summary so that you just have to go through the summary to understand the entire question and answer at once. For analytical answers, nobody can teach you how to do analysis. I cannot teach you how to do analysis. This is something that you learn on your own, but how? So, you either observe somebody do analysis, and ultimately you have to observe ICAI do the analysis. Read ICAI answers repeatedly. Every time you go around that question, read the answer of ICAI. What are they writing? What points are they including? How are they framing the answer? Everything has to be made sure of. Then, before reading their answers straight away, think your own points and then compare with ICAI so that you know how much gap is between your analysis and ICAI's analysis so that you can bridge the gap with your efforts. Okay, so first make your own points, think your own points, then compare with ICAI's answers, and then read ICAI answers repeatedly. Okay, very important point is to highlight the key points. Any point that you think is a very important point in the analytical portion of the answer, and you think that this is the point that I would want to read every time I go through this answer, then highlight that point so that the next time you are revising the same answer, you just have to go through the highlighted points and it will again save you a lot of efforts and time. Our first point is done. We have separated the subject into 3 parts. Now, plan the number of revisions. Now, it depends on where you stand, how many months do you have, and how many subjects do you have to prepare. Some people give both groups, some people give only single group. So, depending on that, you have to plan the number of revisions. Now, don't think that you need to at least go through 3 revisions or 4 revisions or 2 revisions because some person in as your senior or some of your friend or some ranker person or somebody who came upon YouTube and told you to revise. Okay, don't think that, don't think at least, because it may or may not work for you. The important portion is to always remember that you need to gain comfort on this subject. Okay, it could happen in 2 revisions, it could happen in 3 revisions, or it might not happen even in 5 revisions. Okay, so make sure that you gain comfort over this subject even in a single revision and then plan for bonus, right? So plan number of revisions, don't think at least. It is always the quality that is going to support you, never the quantity. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that quality is more important than quantity. So work for quality. Third point is go through the question papers to understand the pattern. This is something that we do at a very late stage. Okay, and then we are not able to take the advantage of it. The advantage of going through the question papers is that you understand the pattern and suit your revisions as per the pattern of the question paper. Okay, so it is very important that while you are revising, once you feel that you are comfortable now with the subject, go through the question papers. Okay, go through the question papers to understand the pattern of the paper. A good analysis will help you to prepare in the manner that is required by the paper. Okay, so to understand this, we have to go through the papers, right? And if you did not go through the paper and if you did not even see the video, I told you in the video that direct theory questions are being asked. But let's say I did not, and you did not even go through the question papers. Who would have told you that direct theory questions are being asked? And you would have never prepared for it, right? So similarly, go through the question papers, analyze them well, understand what topics are coming majorly, how many marks, okay, what question and what chapters, everything. Analyze them completely so that you can prepare accordingly. I'm also coming up with a video in which I'll be discussing and analyzing all of these question papers from May 18 till December 21 with you in complete detail. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you are notified about this video. It will be coming soon. And you can go through that video and this will help you with this point. Okay. Next point is, once you are comfortable with the subject, once you think that now you are good enough with the subject and now you feel that okay, yeah, I could write an exam paper, I might score well, I might score decent, write a test. Okay, plan for your tests. Make sure that you write enough test papers at home that you are able to not feel the pressure of the exam paper during the exam. Okay, so I would say that writing test would give you a reality check first of all, that when you are feeling comfortable with the subject, it would tell you that these are the points where you still have to work. Okay, so reality check is always good, but make sure that you have it quite a long time before the exam so that you don't panic at the last moment. Now write 3 papers at least. My plan would be to write 2 papers, then revise the weak areas, and then write one test again to check if I have improved in these weak areas, and then if there is any other weak area, I would still revise. Okay, that would be my plan. That is just a suggestion. You could use it, and you should write at least 3 papers. Now, while writing these 3 papers, make sure these papers are good enough. Use ICI pattern, and even though you get it checked from any person else, check them on your own as well. Now, very importantly, okay, mark this point or write this point down wherever you can. Make sure to write all the 6 answers in mock test during 3 hours. In 3 hours, if you write 6 questions at home, then in the exam pressure, there is high chance that you will be able to solve the 5 questions in 3 hours and write the entire 100 marks paper. Okay, are you understanding what I'm saying? So try to solve the entire paper in 3 hours at home while writing the mock. The next point would be go through previous year's certified copy. A lot of people don't go through certified copy. Now, why I think it is important to go through certified copy is to understand what should be done and what should not be done. Okay, certified copies will help you with multiple things. First of all, you'll be able to understand how checking is done. Okay, if you thought that the answer is correct, but still the certified copy does not show that the person has been awarded entire full complete marks for this portion, you need to understand why. Okay, so you need to check how is checking being done so that you are having a good enough understanding of how you'll be able to score marks in the paper. Okay, then you should also understand how to present answer, because you have never done it, right? You have never given the CA final exam paper if it's your first attempt. So it is always better to understand how our exam givers are presenting the answers. Okay, pick up some good presentation tricks from there and work on your presentation skills as well. Now, you should check at least 2 certified copies and at max 3 certified copies, not more than that. Okay, at least 2. One should be a good marks copy, be it of rankers, be it of non-ranker, but good marks. Good marks is important. Okay, and what is good marks? So anything above 55 would be good. Okay, and check one more certified copy of lesser marks. Okay, preferably between 30s to 45. Between 30 to 45 is a good lesser marks copy. Okay, if possible, uh, below 40 would be great. From good marks copy, it is important to understand what ideas can you copy for your own exam. Okay? Okay, what has this person done that you can also do during your exam, which can fetch you more marks. Okay, and then also go through a lesser marks copy to understand what are the things that you are not supposed to do. Okay, so go through these certified copies as well. You can do this anytime after you are done with point number 3, only after point 3. Okay, preferably within between tests. Okay, after test 1 maybe I would go through certified copies to understand how can I improve my presentation. Okay, then prepare a list of topics. This should be done at a very early stage. Prepare a list of topics for each chapter, and after each revision analyze topic wise which topic is your weakness, and then accordingly you can work upon them in your next revision, right? So prepare a list of topics, keep evaluating yourself, keep assessing yourself, analyzing yourself, where you are weak, where you are strong, work on the weak areas. So this would help you a lot with that thing. Make a list of topics and just have to write, or just have to even not write, just have to go through it and see if you are weak, if you are strong, if you are middle of strong or and weak, or if you are nowhere. Okay, and make sure that you work upon them. The last one is summarize your materials. The first thing I said, make charts, make notes, or make audio clips. Summarize your materials, but not just that. Summarize your materials mean that don't keep adding new materials. Make sure that you are planning well in advance, that on that in those 1.5 days, on that last day before the exam, what all materials are you going to refer. Plan well in advance for that, so that you summarize your materials. Make your own 1.5 day plan. I can come up on YouTube, tell you how to study in 1.5 days. A lot of teachers can do that, but the best person to do that for you would be you. Make your own plan. You should know where you are weak, what all things to do, which chapter am I comfortable with, which chapter should I do first. Of course, you can take inspiration from the teachers, you can probably get some ideas from there, but you should make your own 1.5 day plan and summarize your materials accordingly. But you should do this well in advance. Probably try it also before the doomsday come, and so that you know what is going to work for you and what is not going to work for you. Okay, so these are the 7 points that I had followed, and I would also recommend you to follow. All right, I hope this helped you. Take care, all the best, and I will see you next time. If you are new to this channel, hit the subscribe button, and even if you are old on this channel, you've been going through the videos and have not subscribed, then hit the subscribe button. Make sure to like the video and comment your doubts if any. I will see you in the comment box also, and I will see you in the next one as well. Take care, goodbye.